Hello, welcome back. Welcome to Alive. I am so excited. Oh my gosh, I have so many things to talk about today. Like we are going to be here for a while because I got a lot of things on my list. I'm like scrolling through all my little pop-ups. But let's start with the number one thing that we start with every single week. And it is so important, y'all. I just had a conversation with somebody one-on-one the other day about this. Like we need to celebrate more. Like we make so much progress and we do not celebrate it. So what is one small win that you have to share from the last week? If you are here live, please say hello in the chat and let us know what your win is. And if you are catching the replay, please let us know down in the comments, what is your number one win? My win, to jump ahead to my goal update section, is that I finished my 2023 December daily album. It's done. It's all done. I'm so excited. It feels so good. It feels so good to have it done. So I am just, I don't know. I remember feeling so defeated last year when I didn't finish it. And then even like in January, and then I said I was going to work on it. And then the year just started and I just kept putting it off. And then it felt like it was so big. And finally I was like, you don't get to start 2024, which I was so excited about until you finish 2023. And so I'm very proud of myself for prioritizing that and getting that done. Okay. So far our only comment is a spam comment. So where are our friends? Please say hello. I don't know where the spam phones are coming out from today. Like what? Where are you coming from? I kept up with minimum household chores while I was sick. That's amazing, Sarah. Sometimes when I'm sick, I'm like, the house is just going to be what it's going to be. And that's just that. So that's amazing. Listen to your body and stayed home sick the last 2 days. Oh, Jennifer, I'm sorry you're not feeling well. I hope that you feel better soon. Caught the early bus both yesterday and today. That's amazing. I love that. I love that for you. Awesome. Okay, let's jump in because like I said, I have a lot to talk about. So quick update, reading update. I'm still reading the same 2 books, but I have made progress on both of them since we talked last week. So my fiction book is The Pumpkin Plan. But I'm going to mispronounce his last name, so I'm not even going to try. But I've been very much enjoying it. I'm almost at 60%. So I'm definitely chugging through that. And I think, no, I don't know if I think this might be my last nonfiction for the year. I think once I finish this book, I think I'm just going to like take a break before I jump into nonfiction in the rest of the year. I hesitated because I have a bunch of them on hold at the library. And if like one comes off, I'm just going to push it off. If you use Libby, you can probably relate to the number of times that you click like, not right now. I actually just had 2 come up last week and I was like, I'm reading this. So I think it's going to be my last nonfiction for the year, but that feels good. I will definitely do a recap of my reading, like my 2024 reading in a Vlogmas episode. And then episode? That sounded weird. Video? And then I will also definitely do one about my 2025 reading goals and plan. And then chugging through a quart of silver. I think it's flames. I think I realized I have a typo here. But I definitely have made progress on this. I'm still in the single digits, but this is a really long book. I've read a couple more chapters and I'm still only at 8%. So, but at least I have jumping back into it. Hello from wet Northern California. Oh my gosh. Cold and wet. New job every day. New job means every day is a victory. Oh, totally. Oh my gosh. A new job. It's so brand new. It's so like things you've got to figure out. So, definitely every day is a win. Oh my gosh. Thank you to your pep talk and info last week about momentum. I was able to begin some traction on your goal, slow going, but at least it's a restart. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing. I'm so excited for you that it's the getting started is the hardest part, especially this time of year. So, okay, let's talk about my monthly goals. Coloring looks weird on that. Just me. So couple things. I did my second face mask, so that feels good. I really am glad that this month I decided, if you watched the goals video where I talked about all of these, I'm really glad that I decided in November to just do 2 face masks as my goal over the course of the month, as opposed to a weekly, which is what I did in October. Finished 2023, so I got that checked off. The last 3 one-time steps, I'm still chugging on, but still intend to get to them before the end of the year. Then weekly, it's covered up because I haven't done anything this week in terms of weekly. Daily, I'm still chugging. It still feels good. It's not perfect. It's not most of them are not perfect. I've missed at least one day on every single one, but at least I'm making progress and that feels good. In terms of December daily, even though I have finished my 2023 album, I think I mentioned this last week, but I still have a couple things I want to do to help get me set up for the new year. One of them was to unbox and like organize my new supplies into it, and I've already done that. But then I have 3 other things, and that's what this little sticky note checkbox is. So one of them is to set up my new printer. I talked about that last week, and then 2 are to set up some new additionary. That is not a word. I was trying to combine the word additional with auxiliary. I am doing 2 additional albums this year, but I'm not full albums. I'm starting new album traditions. And so I want to get those set up and potentially do last year's, because in theory, I would have started them last year and started them on Lila's first Christmas, and then I will go from there. One of them is a Santa album. The actual, do I have it within arm's reach? Yeah. So this album from Allie Edwards was on sale, like super sale at some point, and I just could not resist and decided I needed it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do every year when we go see Santa, I'm going to put the photos in here and like the Santa album. Isn't that so cute? Okay. So that is a plan. And then the other one I have blocked off because it's a secret surprise for somebody who probably won't watch this video anyway, but just in case. Okay. I don't have a pop-up for this, but I want to let you know that this is the last live for the year. I know next week is Thanksgiving, and so there won't be a live next week. And then we are moving into December. And so here is the December calendar. Starting on the 1st, Vlogmas will start, and there will be new videos every single day until Christmas. And so there will not be live YouTube lives in addition to videos going up that day. There will just be videos going up that day. It's just like doing the lives is one thing I can take off my plate while I'm doing Vlogmas. And so that is really helpful. So that will start on Sunday the 1st. The first 2 videos will be pre-recorded videos, and then we will jump right into vlogs. I'm going to vlog for 3 weeks, and then at the end of Vlogmas will also be pre-recorded of all of my goals for the new year. And then here, I'm going to take off this so you can see that bottom one. You can see the coaching calls for the community for December. We're still having coaching calls, even though it's December. If it doesn't feel like it fits into your calendar, I talked about this on the coaching call that I recorded yesterday that will go up Monday. That is confusing. I'm sorry. I talked about that. And then for the community, we're also going to have a New Year's Eve party, which I'm so excited about on Monday, because I'm assuming some people will have plans on Tuesday. So Monday night, we're going to do a little party, obviously on Zoom, not an in-person party, but I'm very excited about that. And then the goal workshops also start in 10 days, which is bananas to me. But those start on Sunday the 1st, and they will go every Sunday. They are scheduled from 11 to 2 Eastern. They may not take all the way until 2. It really depends on how much people want to share and how many questions people have. The first 2 last year took about 2 hours and 45 minutes. The last one tends to take the full time because we've got to break down those goals. The first one, week 1, is reflection and prep work. So whatever goal planner you use, we are going to reflect and do all the prep work questions related to your specific goal planner. Or if you don't have one, you can come with a notebook and I will give you questions. Week 2 on the 8th will be prioritization. So figuring out what goals we want to pick for 25 and then defining them, getting really, really clear on what those goals are. And then the 15th, workshop 3 will be breaking those goals down. And I will be there the entire way to help you with it. The workshops will go on sale on Friday, and they will be on sale on Friday, like early Black Friday sale on Friday. And they won't they will be available for sale. That's not going away until sometime next year, but the sale will end. So just keep an eye out. Just make sure you're signed up for my email newsletter so that you can grab that. Okay. One thing I wish I had done was keep all those picture Christmas cards. You can weed through them in later years, but they make gifts through the years when Lila gets older. Do you mean like Christmas cards that you put in the mail? Linda, is that what you're talking about? Because I always incorporate those into my December daily album. I do like, here, I can grab potentially. Oh, no. I already put away the 2023 one. I do like, I put hours in there and then I do an envelope of all the ones that we've received, which is fun. I think that's what you're talking about. Okay, one other thing before we get into the topic for the week is a question that was somebody sent me a DM on Instagram asking me to talk about this. And so since we're talking about December, let me just talk about this before we get into the topic. And that is advent calendars. This is a question that I have been doing and sharing advent calendars since I've been doing Vlogmas, which this is I already did this math. It's my 7th year. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. No, not six. What year did I start my channel? 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yeah, this is my 7th year doing Vlogmas. And I've done advent calendars every time because I feel like advent calendars are nice anchoring to every day opening them. Some years they've been fantastic. Some years, if you followed along, they've been absolutely terrible. Like many of you have reminded me, please stop buying the like cheesy, like I did a Harry Potter one. I did a Friends one. Like I saw one that looked just like those for Wicked this year. And I was like, no, like, and you do not need those. So in terms of advent calendars that I have already purchased, I went to Aldi on the day the advent calendars go on sale, which is the first Wednesday of the month, of the first Wednesday of November every year. And I got the wine and the cheese one that I will be doing with my mom. Those probably won't be every single day. If you watched Vlogmas last year, you kind of saw how we tackled this. My mom and I do see each other a lot, but we also don't necessarily feel the need to drink wine every single day. So there were definitely days during Vlogmas where we would just play catch up and we would do 2 or 3 and skip days. So that won't necessarily be every day, but we will record every time we do the wine and cheese advent calendar. Then while we were at Aldi, I also grabbed this one, which is a tea advent calendar. And it actually is 2 for each day that you would like share with people. But I am excited. It's got all of them on the back, all the different ones. It's definitely a hodgepodge. A lot of them, actually, every single one of them contains caffeine. Well, that is both good and bad. It means I have to make sure I do these earlier in the day. This was also from Aldi, but I'm excited about this. And then I also got Charlie. So I have tried, that was a Vlogmas fail one year, right? I tried the treat one from Trader Joe's and Charlie is my cat. She was not interested. 0 interest in the treat one from Trader Joe's. You can kind of hear it. Oh, this year I got her Meowie Christmas. It's toys. And they're all, I guess they're actually not all catnip. There's a hodgepodge. Oh my God. It's so cute. There's only 12 pictures on the back. I wonder if it's only 12. Oh, it is only 12. How freaking cute is this? So maybe like every other day, Charlie will get a new toy as part of the advent. Last year I learned my lesson the hard way. The Aldi candle one is not good. Or at least it wasn't good last year. Maybe they fixed it. Maybe it's better, but it wasn't good last year. But our grocery store in our neighborhood is called Mariano's. And now I don't know if I know it's a chain here, but I don't know how far it extends. Like, I don't know if you have a Mariano's where you live. It's owned by Kroger, but like, so they have all their name brand stuff is Kroger, but like there's lots of stuff that's just Mariano's. So I don't know if this is a Mariano's thing or a Kroger thing, but they have a candle one that's a 12-day candle one that I'm tempted to buy. But I feel like I've been burned by the candle ones. Trader Joe's has a candle one again this year, and I considered it, but there's nothing against the Trader Joe's candles. I actually do really like them, but the scents are not all, the candle advent calendar isn't all winter scents from the Trader Joe's one. And so like, I want a winter scent. Like I'm already burning my like Christmas tree candle. Like I want a winter scent. So I didn't buy the Trader Joe's one again, but it is, if you don't mind, like, peonies in December, the candles are good. The Aldi one, no. But I'm tempted by this Mariano's one. I haven't bought it yet though. I think I saw the sign that said $15. So we'll see. I may buy that one. I think that's it. I don't have any intentions to buy anymore, although I was fed an Instagram ad this morning of a book. Have you seen this, y'all? If I can find it, I'll link it. I took a screenshot on my phone, so I can for sure find it again in case I want it. But it's like, it looks like a book and the chapters are wrapped and you unwrap one chapter every day for 24 days. Does that sound like fun? So that's another one I have considered, but it literally popped up this morning. There's a large bug in my wall. We'll see. So I don't have any set plans to buy more, but we'll see. Let me know if you do. Are you an advent calendar fan? Have you bought one? Oh, my mom bought Lila one, but it's at her house. So I need to figure out if we're going to keep it there. That's rubber duckies. So cute. It's so cute, y'all. It's like all these different rubber duckies. I think there's only 12, but we'll see. Anybody have any other advent calendars that they are excited about this year? You mean the ones you receive from family and friends? Okay, yeah. I save all those. Yeah. That's part of my December daily album. Okay, let's get into the topic. 16 minutes in. Okay. So let's start with a question. Have you ever, where is the pop-up, carried a goal over from year to year? If you have, I want you to comment with a heart, any color. My guess is every single one of us, whether you're here live or you're watching the replay, has carried over a goal from one year to the next. You are not alone. Like, we all do it. And it isn't necessarily a bad thing. It isn't necessarily a bad thing for us to carry our goals over. It doesn't mean that you have failed. It just means that your goal is going to take longer than a year. That's all that it means. However, and so if that's the case, if you just know that your goal is going to take you longer than a year and you feel nothing towards carrying it over, carry it over. Carry it over guilt-free. Say, I see the comments blowing up. Carry it over and just be like, great, like I'm carrying this goal over. But I'm here to remind you that you don't have to. Just because you didn't achieve whatever that means to you, just because you didn't hit the goal that you set for this year, doesn't mean that you have to carry it over to next year. So what I want to do today is I want to give you some questions to consider to help you think about whether you want to carry it over. And again, these questions are not, well, it's just going to take me more than 1 year. That is not what we're here to talk about. If that's a scenario, great. Moving on, you're carrying it over, right? There's a lot of things. Some of them, like you don't have a choice, right? Like when I was planning a wedding, it was a goal for a year and a half. So like that one is like, that's not what we're here to talk about. What we're here to talk about are the goals that you feel pressured to carry over, are the goals that you fell short on this year, so you feel like you need to carry it over, are the goals that you carry over every single year again and again and again. That's what we're here to talk about. I'm going to give you questions to think about as you're deciding whether this is a goal that you want to carry over next year. So the first one, and you probably saw this coming, is do you have a good reason for this goal? I have the word still in there because I hope that you had a good reason to begin with to put this goal like on your list for this year, but maybe you didn't. Regardless, do you have a good reason to carry this goal into 2025? Do you have a why that actually matters to you? I have a video somewhere on whys that I'll dig up for you, but ultimately, y'all, we are so good. I said bad at, but we're bad at one thing, good at the other. Depends on how I want to phrase it, right? But we are so good at picking goals because somebody else suggested it, because somebody else thinks it needs to be a goal for us, because somebody else has that goal and we also want to have it. To me, those are not good reasons. They're reasons to have a goal, but they're not good ones. I want you to have a good one. I want you to have, you know what? I'd like you to have more than one. I'd like you to have more than one reason that it is important to you, that this goal is important to you, but at least one good why of why you want to get out of bed and work on this goal. Why completing this goal would change your life. Why this goal makes a difference to you, not to your mom, not to your spouse, not to your kids, not to your siblings, to you. Why is this goal good for you? And do you have a reason? Do you have a good reason? And because I put it on last year's list is not a good enough reason. The next question that I want you to think about, and this ironically came up on the community call this week, and just the timing couldn't be better. Nope, hold on, Laken, there's a typo. Not a typo because it's a correct word, but it's not the word I want. What held you back from completing that goal last year? Ask yourself, like, what held me back? And do you have control over that? Is that something that you're going to be able to change or do differently next year? Be honest with yourself. Is the reason that you didn't achieve that goal something you have control over? And there is no right or wrong answer here. I'm not like facetiously asking you this question. I'm very seriously, this could go either way. There could be something that held you back that is completely within your control. And therefore, it might be a good reason to carry it over. You're identifying what's holding you back, and you know that you can do something different next year. The flip side to this is what held you back has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with something that you can change or control. Therefore, you probably wouldn't be helpful for you to carry it over next year. If you have no control over what held you back this year, my guess is you're not going to have control over what's going to hold you back next year. So be honest with yourself. What is it that held you back? And I want you to think about this. You're not making excuses. I'm not asking, like, it can feel that way. I understand when you're saying, like, well, I'm just making excuses. No, be honest. Like, what held you back? Was it because, question number one, it didn't matter to you? Was it because you didn't break it down enough? Was it because you didn't schedule time for it? Was it because you had too many goals? We talked about that last week, right? How many goals is the best number of goals to have? Maybe what held you back is you had too many goals, and so you weren't focusing on it. That's something you have control over. Or maybe what held you back was your spouse unexpectedly lost their job and you had a goal to do something financial, and that held you back, and you didn't have control over that. And you still aren't going to have control over that because they haven't found a new job, right? That's something that I wouldn't carry that goal over. Again, I'm not necessarily looking for something right or wrong here. I'm asking you to be very honest with what it was that held you back, why you, not an excuse, a very real reason, and can you do something about it? And if you can, it can stay on the list for potential goals for 2025. And if you can't, goodbye goal. Is there something that you would change about how you defined it? I did all these questions and like me, because I want you to ask it this way, but like when I'm saying it to you, it feels weird saying it that way. Maybe you set a goal last year to read a certain number of books. And as you started doing it, you realized that for you, reading is more of a chore than it is enjoyment. But you do want to read for education. So maybe you switch how you define it and you say, I'm going to read these 10 specific books about XYZ, whatever it is you want to learn about, right? And you're getting specific about what it is about that goal that is helpful for you. If you would just carry it over to be the same thing, maybe reconsider that. Maybe think that that might not be the best fit for you. And again, we're going to go through in the goal setting workshop all about how to define your goals and how to get really clear on them. But I want you to think about, would you change something about this goal? There is a reason we check in with our goals every 3 months throughout the year, because we are allowed to change our minds. That is the beauty of you being in control of your life. You are allowed to change your mind. But maybe changing your goals in the middle of the year scared you. Maybe you were like, okay, I hear you, Laken. I know we're doing an annual goal refresh, but I'm just going to keep mine the same. And if that's what you did, okay, that was last year. You are allowed to change your mind. And so maybe there's something about that goal that doesn't feel right anymore, and you would change something about it. Maybe you consider carrying it over and working on that goal in a different way, from a different perspective. Question 4, how would you feel if you didn't, I probably could have written, have to think about this goal next year? How would that make you feel? Also, I never pointed out my super cute Christmas cup from Allie Edwards. I since this was the last live, I figured I had to pull it out. I had to use it. Once again, this is another question. I need you to be really honest. If I asked this question and you immediately felt this like pressure lift off of your shoulders and you were like, oh, it would feel really good. Maybe you take it off. Maybe you take it off. Maybe you don't set a reading goal. Maybe you don't worry about the decluttering aspect of your house. Maybe you don't try to hit a certain number of steps every day, right? If it would take pressure off of you to not think about this goal, I encourage you to see what that feels like. If you don't have the pressure to do blah, 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 insert whatever it is here, maybe that will open up energy and space to do something else, to work on another goal that you're really excited about. Right. I think we get so bogged down with like, well, I have to have a reading goal, Laken, or I have to have a water goal, or I have to keep my house clean. Do you? What does have to mean? Who is telling you this? Who is telling you that you have to do things, right? Ask yourself. And again, every one of these requires so much honesty from you, and you don't have to tell anybody else. No, I'm not asking you to share these answers out loud with me, with anybody else. I am just asking you to be really honest with yourself. How would it feel if you didn't have to think about that goal next year? And the last question that I want you to answer, and maybe this is the only question you need. What's your gut? What's my gut telling me? What's my gut feeling? And before you come at me and tell me, Laken, I am a logical person and I don't do guts and feelings and intuition. Let me tell you the source, or I don't have the source. That's what makes me mad. Let me tell you the information that changed this for me. And I say this every time. I wish I remembered where I got this information. I have tried to Google it, but it was a book or a podcast or something that's like not transcripted well, or I'm not searching the right things. I cannot find it. But I read a book or listened to a podcast that told me your gut is your brain making a really, really fast decision. Your brain is taking all the information that you have stored in your brain, however old you are, all of those years of information that you have gathered, and your brain has all that information. And it is calculating it really, 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 really fast and sending a really, really fast decision to the rest of your body. And that's your gut feeling. That's where your intuition is coming from. It is not, and don't get me wrong, I can be woo-woo in some scenarios, but it is not necessarily just a woo-woo thing. It is a calculated thing, but your brain's calculating it so fast that you can't keep up. Have you ever had where your like brain moves faster than like your fingers? Your brain is calculating it so fast based on all the information that you already have and telling your body to feel a certain way. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't go out and gather more information, right? That's why this is the last question. Maybe you're gathering other information. You're answering these other questions first. But then once you've gathered all the information that you could possibly gather, what is your gut telling you? And making a decision. I have some news coming in December. We have two big things happening in our family in December. No, I'm not pregnant. That's not one of them. Let me just get that out of the way right now. I'm going to just sip. I mean, I drank coffee when I was pregnant, but like, it's not that. Both of which I very much struggled with the information gut balance. And I very much wanted to gather all the information. And I did. I made spreadsheets. I made lists. I made pro-con lists. But ultimately, both decisions I made with my gut. And which one felt like the right answer for us. And so it's okay. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to give you permission that if your gut is saying, I need to carry this goal over to next year, I need to give it another go, I'm ready to do this differently, I'm ready to break it down and schedule time for it, I'm here for it, let's go. Let's carry it over. But if your gut is telling you like, no, I'm carrying this over because I feel like I should, because I've carried it over every year forever, and I feel like I have to, like, no. Let it go. In the words of our friend Elsa, you got to let it go. All right. That's it. That's all I have for you to think about. Hopefully this shed some light. You don't have to make a decision today on your goals. And in fact, if you need extra help setting, I know I already talked about this a little bit, but I want to make sure that I let you know again, the live goal workshops start in 10 days. If you're able to join live with us on Sundays, it's going to be a great time. There will be breaks. Trust me, we're not going to sit here for 3 hours straight and not take breaks. Like, there'll be breaks. But it's going to be a good time. And they start live. If you can't join live, the replays will be up. I just got this question the other day, actually in 2 different places. The replays will be up as soon as I humanly and technologically can get them up. Technology only works so fast. My computer can only export it from Zoom so fast, and then it can only upload to Teachable so quickly. But as soon as it can, the replay will be up. They will be on sale on Friday, the 22nd. So if you're here live or watching this in the next couple of days, They're going to be on sale on Friday. Make sure that you're on my email list to get notified. When they go on sale on Friday, they will be 50% off. So that's going to be the day. Community members, you get an additional discount on top of that 50%. So make sure that you look out for your specific code. It's going to be a different code. There's going to be a Black Friday code and there's going to be a community code. Both of those codes will expire Monday at midnight, Monday the 25th. Doesn't mean that you can't sign up. You can still sign up. They're not going anywhere. But the discount will disappear on Monday night. Okay, that's it. Let's chat. I'm going to go back to the comments. There were a couple of comments. Oh, a couple advent calendar comments. A sticker stationery one. Decided to save your money and put it towards a big trip. I love that. Got your husband an advent calendar with tools. That's very cool. Oh, I saw the puzzle one. I don't know where you got yours, but I saw one at Aldi. I'm not a puzzle person, but my mom is. I tried to tell her to do that. All right. And then Jen shared something about her being held back by something that she didn't have control over. I can adjust the timeline to make the goal work better for me. I love that. I'm glad that you realized that. Laura, where do I request to be added to your email list? That I forget to put the link in before the live. Laken. I had into every intention of putting the link in the description before the live and clearly forgot. It will be in the description as soon as the live is over. Actually, that's a lie. I'm going to chat for 1 second. I'm going to go grab the link for you, Laura, so that you can do it right now. And obviously, if you don't get the email, if you think you're on my email list and you don't get the email next or on Friday with the code, make sure that you come, send me a message and I will get it for you. Where? Okay. No, I'm trying to find it for you. And my computer is deciding that it wants to be difficult. Late here, but my win this week is I meal prepped and actually ate when I meal prepped. I totally feel that. I have been there where I have, especially when I cooked for one, you guys. Oh, man. I was just having a conversation with my sister about that the other day. Okay. There's the email list. Thank you for your patience. The rest of this time is yours. We still have almost 30 minutes. Feel free to ask any questions. It doesn't have to be about this topic. You can ask anything you want. It can be about your individual goals. It can be about a specific topic. If you don't know how to phrase it to a question, you just say topic. That's what the person with the advent calendars was like. Can you just talk about your advent calendars for the year? Whatever is on your mind, whatever y'all want to chat about today. I'm here. I've got, it's hard to see the coffee through the trees. I am obsessed with this cup. Also, you're probably going to see this almost every day during Vlogmas. I had a day this week where it felt like everything was dogpiling on me, but I still felt like I wanted to work on goals. How do I go about doing so in the future? This is a great question, Rachel, because unfortunately, there is not one right answer for every single one of us, right? This is going to vary greatly based on your personality, what your goals are, and what is dogpiling on you. Is it something that is so, let me, before I give you examples, I very much always want to have the positive mindset of I don't need to wait for a new day, a new week, a new hour to start, whatever. I can just be positive and start fresh. But sometimes you just need to take a break. And whatever that break looks like for you and however long you need that break to be, sometimes you just need that. And so to be totally honest, there are lots of days where not lots of days, but there are days when it feels like things are dogpiling that I will then just say, I'm going to let this day go. This day is over. I'm going to do the bare minimum of what I have to do. And then I'm just going to do whatever I freaking feel like doing. And I'm going to start over tomorrow. I'm going to start fresh in the morning because sometimes I just can't snap myself out of it. So I'm telling you right now, if this need or want to work on goals is coming from a pressure-filled place of like, I should work on them every day, like, I am giving you permission right now to take that off your shoulders. And some days you just need to be like, I am done with today, and I'm gonna take what I need the rest of the day, and I'll be back for you tomorrow goals. And Rachel, you've been around and you are very like active and participate. Like you can start fresh tomorrow, and that's okay. Like you're not gonna then let it spiral, because that's the fear, right? Is that if you take a day off, you're gonna let it spiral. And I know, and I hope you know that you won't do that. And you just like, you take a day and you let it go. Now, that said, sometimes I like to think about what is the one goal? What's the one goal that if I work on this one thing, it's going to make me feel good. It's going to make me feel better. And I'm going to just do that one thing and then let the rest of them go. And then you're not derailing all of your goal momentum. You're not saying like, forget all my goals for today. And so then that little like fear person on your shoulder that is telling you like you're going to lose your momentum, you're like, no, fear person on my shoulder, I am not, because I'm going to do this one goal and I'm going to let the rest of it go. And then I'll be back tomorrow and I'll work on my goals then. And just know what your one goal is, what your one thing. Ideally, it would be very small and something tiny that you would work on. But I want you to have one thing that you do on those days that you feel like it's really hard. Now, again, I'm not telling you I do that perfectly. There are days, maybe some recent days, where I just felt like I needed a day, right? I just was like, that's it. I'm deleting social media. I'm not going live. Like I'm taking a day and I just need a day. And then there's times that I'm like, okay, what's the one thing? I talked about this a little bit. That last week's coaching call where I talked about the surviving to thriving spectrum, right? Sometimes we're just surviving and you just like get through and you let go from your goals. So whatever it is that's telling you that you felt like you needed or wanted to, trust that you could take a day and get back on it tomorrow. Okay. Have you tried your new photo printer? Would like to know which one you got for this year's December daily. I have not tried it yet. Wow, did my links? Am I like not saving my YouTube descriptions? I thought I linked it in last week's live, but if I didn't, I'll relink it to this week's live. I mentioned this on the live last week that I bought it because my future sister-in-law, who I feel like at this point I could just say Lindsay and y'all know who I'm talking about, but in case you don't, my future sister-in-law, my brother's getting married next summer. I'm so excited. And she's the best. She bought, it was like in our Amazon. I was browsing Amazon for photo printers. And one of them, as I'm scrolling, says like purchased on whatever date. And I was like, who in our family bought this? And I looked at it and she had gotten it for a gift, but the person that she got it for has apparently been loving it. So I just bought the same one that she bought as a gift. And I haven't opened it. It's literally still in the box. That's why I literally have a to-do list item here that says set up printer. Like I haven't touched it. But I'm excited for it. I'm excited to be able to print my own photos at home for sure. And I'll let y'all know. Honestly, I probably won't use it until like in the middle of Vlogmas because I have no need. There's nothing to print right now. Sorry, I may have missed it, but how's your December daily going? Good. I finished 2023. So that's exciting. Yay. Look at that little check mark. I finished 2023. I've organized all of my supplies for 24. I have a couple last minute things I want to do to prepare, including setting up the printer. But otherwise, I'm really excited. I'm excited. And here, I'll share this with y'all. This is a free downloadable from, okay, actually before, there might be some things on here I'm not ready to share. Hold on. Hold your horses. Okay. So this is a free downloadable from Allie Edwards. I'll link it below afterwards. Her blog post. And it's got a calendar for all of December. And so I wrote down things that I know for sure that I'm going to talk about. And it helps me map things out, right? Like Lila goes to swim on Fridays. And I know I want to tell a story about swim class, But we have Friday plans both the 6th and the 13th, which means like the 20th is for sure going to be the swim class. Like that's the only way it's going to work out. And I'm able to map that out. I have it covered because there's things on here that I'm not sharing yet. And then down here, it's got all these little lines. And so I added these little gray dot markers. And then these are stories that I know I want to tell in December, the Christmas cards, like we talked about. And then I know I want to do movies at some point, but it can go on any day. And so I feel like I'm prepared. I also, y'all, have made this exact same thing. I printed out 2 and I did one for Vlogmas. So I did the same thing to make sure I have all the same, literally like the same life events on both calendars, and things I want to make sure that I talk about during Vlogmas. And then the Vlogmas list at the bottom has my updated AM routine, PM routine, books like I talked about earlier, and then December daily stuff. I'm going to flip through 23 for you, show you my 2024 prep, and then a midpoint flip through. So I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling excited. Quickly back to Rachel's question. That makes so much sense. Thank you. I was hoping that doing one goal related thing would help me snap out of it, but I could have started fresh the next day. Yeah. And sometimes doing something goal related can help you snap out of it. But frankly, sometimes I just need to let the day go and start fresh the next day. I think it's just knowing yourself. Sometimes I do what's called minimum mandatory effort, and that's good enough. MME is just doing one thing that moves you forward. That's a great way to think about it. And everybody's minimum, like even when I have those days, right? Like I have a small human now that I have to take care of and keep alive. And so even on the days that I like need the day, and I still am like taking care of her, right? So it's not like I just like, I can let everything go, but I let go of what I can. I drop what I can to give myself that space to start fresh. Can you talk about your tentative Vlogmas plan, when you'll start and end, and any other info? Yes. So it's going to look almost identical to last year's. The only difference is last year I gave like myself and my editor 2 days to turn the video around, because with a 3-month-old, I didn't know what it was going to look like. Now I feel like I can do it in just, well, okay. So last year, I think we did 3 days. Whereas this year we're going to turn it around in 2 days. So for example, December 1st and December 2nd are going to be pre-recorded videos. December 1st will be my goals, and December 2nd will be the collab I participate in every year. So that's that. I will start vlogging on December 1st. And then that video will go up December 3rd. I hope that's not too complicated. And then I'm going to do that routine for 3 weeks. I'm going to vlog for 3 weeks, not 3 full weeks, because my family is celebrating Christmas on the 21st. So I want to be done work as much as possible. We're going to do our best to be done, have all the videos done and ready to go by the time I go to my mom's on the 21st for Christmas. So I'm going to vlog through then. And then everything after that, so the 21st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th will be, or not the 21st, the 22nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th will be goals videos. It'll be recapping December, recapping 24, talking about 25, and then January and Q1. So that's the plan. In terms of what time of day the videos are going to go live, I'm going to aim for 9 a.m., y'all, but I can't make any promises. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I am also very excited. I think I said this. I know I've said this. It goes with both of these questions in a handful of places, but in case I haven't, I am not planning to share my December daily, like actually working on it in vlogs. That's one of the decisions I made this year to make sure that I finish it in December. Trying to record it last year added an entire level of complexity that just made it not only less fun, but harder for me to make sure that I finished it on time. And so this year I'm not going to be doing that. I will share my end pages throughout the month, but I'm not going to record the process of them this year. But of course, there'll be lots of fun stuff in Vlogmas. Don't you fret. Linda, in order to enjoy our travel plans, I need to get through the prep before December 10th. Any advice on how long to spend on it? there's no right or wrong here, right? Like some people are, everybody is different in terms of how much time they need and whether they tend to be a rusher and they need more time, like tell somebody like, no, spend 5 minutes on this page, or they are a processor and like spending 5 minutes is not enough time, or an overthinker. Really, I feel like we can all fall into one of those categories where you need to be cut off at 5 minutes because you're going to sit there and overthink it, right? So I have allocated, as you can tell from the goal workshops, about 9 hours of time to get through all of the prep. Now, this does include me giving tips and advice. It includes people sharing and asking questions. And so if you don't have those components, if you are okay moving at like kind of an average pace, you could probably get it done in 8 hours, would probably be my guess. Maybe a little bit less. I don't necessarily think you would need more than that. So that would be my thought. Yeah, I was trying to think if there was like another scenario where, like if there's any scenario where you wait and do some of it afterwards so that you're not rushing, and like letting things sink in. Cause that's the other hesitation that I feel like is I feel like if you try to sit there, if I say it's going to take 8 hours and you just block off one entire day of 8 hours, like I feel like I need time to let things sink in. And so that might not totally work. Like you might not get through all of it if you're trying to do it all in one sitting. So. Great question, Jennifer. How do you work through feeling overwhelmed with a new big annual goal, like traveling to a new country for a long vacation? First off, I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited for you. So first off, it's natural to feel overwhelmed when it comes to something that is big that you have never done before, right? Like you have never planned something like this. And so it is going to feel overwhelming, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that you can't tackle it, right? We're going to just make sure we don't let that overwhelmed feeling impact your ability to plan and execute. What is going to make you feel less overwhelmed is breaking it down. So even if like you're like, okay, but we haven't started our goals. I get it. That's fine. You can start breaking a goal down now. It doesn't have to be like, you don't have to wait until December 15th to break down your goals. So if you are feeling overwhelmed, I would just start jotting some things down. Maybe you Google like top 10 things to do in blank, and you start maybe making like an idea list. It sounds like you've already started saving. So like you've started that process, right? The best way to stop feeling overwhelmed is to start taking action, period. So start breaking it down, maybe start to research, maybe like even as simple as like deciding I'm going to go to this one museum, right? That can make you feel good. I also want to remind you that when you're breaking down a big goal that you've never done before, you're not going to know everything, and that's okay. Thankfully, we have this beautiful thing called the internet, and you can Google and search and find exactly what you're looking for. And it's okay. Like you don't have to know how to do all of the things. You can Google, you could also use an expert, right? There's like a new thing now. It's like, feels like it's resurging. I know like 3 friends who are doing this. There's like not even necessarily travel agents, but like travel planners are like back. And some of them like don't even charge you anything, because when they book hotels and tours for you, they get kickbacks from the hotels and tours. And so like one of my best friends started one of these things, and I am just like amazed that she offers. Now she does have paid services too, that if you are wanting to invest in somebody to actually plan it all out. And it depends. Do you like planning things? And you don't know, because if you've never planned a large trip before, then you don't know if you like it or don't like it. I personally do not like planning travel. And so I could totally see myself using one of these services to be like, here's what I want to do. Can you plan it for me? But it might be worth just having a conversation with somebody who does that, right? An expert who could help you tell you what the next steps are. So I'm also happy to answer any questions, Jennifer. If you, I feel like my brain is, I have two locations in my head of where you said you were going. One I have been to and one I haven't. So if you need any suggestions or thoughts, let me know. Travel planners are also nice because if the place has a price guarantee, the planners will keep searching the price to get you credits. At least mine did when I went on a cruise. So that's awesome. That's cool. I didn't know that. Thanks for sharing, Monica. I really do think like travel planners. Here's the problem. So I think we used to use it's not a problem. Here's why I think travel planners are back. We used to use travel planners because we couldn't do those things, right? You had to make phone calls to book hotels and book tours and things, right? So that's what they did for you because you didn't want to do that yourself. And the research was like reading books. I want to say Folgers, but that's the coffee. What is the name of the book, the travel book company? Starts with an F, but you know what I'm talking about. And so you didn't want to do that. So you hired somebody to do it for you. And then the internet came along and all the travel knowledge and information and top 10 lists exist. And you can do it all yourself from the comfort of your couch. So we feel like we got rid of those. But then the information kept growing and growing and growing and growing. And now we have so much information and so many options that I feel like we have to go back to travel planners because it's like, I don't want to research every tour that I could possibly do in this country. I just want you to tell me which one is the best and let me book that one, right? Let me tell you what my budget is for a hotel and you book the best hotel with my requirements and my budget. Oh my gosh, y'all, when I was booking hotels for the honeymoon, we stayed in 5 different hotels and it was just getting to the point where I was like, I can't look at another hotel description. Like it's a lot. So I think that's why they're back. And I think it's awesome. I'm very glad that they're back. So hopefully that's helpful for you, Jennifer. So many great questions today, y'all. Okay, Jen, how do you change your creativity to make it more appealing as you change your abilities and hands? It's a dynamic thing that's not the same every day. I don't know if I fully understand your question, Jen. I understand what you're saying, that creativity is not the same every day. And you're going to have ebbs and flows of creativity. And the two thoughts I have on that. Number one is that is why I like to have a little bit of flexibility in my schedule, right? Like not everything is happening at an exact time every day. That way, if I have an energy, let's say I have something that's on my list for later in the week, but Monday I have a creativity spike. I'm going to grab that really creative task that's on my list for Thursday and pull it to Monday and work on it on Monday. So I totally get that. I think the other thing I always have to remember is that what's the word? Like consuming creative things or participating in creative activities sparks creativity. So if I am struggling with creativity, I need to go take a dance class. I need to go do a craft. I need to go do something else that helps me turn my mind off and that will get my creative juices flowing. And I've seen this happen. Sarah Cannon, who y'all know I talk about and love all the time. She's an author and she has talked about that a lot this year, where like when she actually makes the time to play video games, that's one of the creative things she loves. It sparks her creativity in other areas and like her books and all of those things. So that is something that I feel like I have to remind myself that if I'm struggling creatively or to have any creative sparks, I'm not doing enough of the other stuff that I like. I'm doing too much scrolling, too much just like binge watching Friends for the 17th time. Like I feel like 17 is, I was trying to be exaggerating, but I feel like it's probably not. So that is what I would keep in mind. Oh, I used to be able to knit and crochet daily, but now I can't, and I don't know what to replace them in. Oh, I understand. Okay, I just went on a total tangent. That really didn't answer your question. I think it might just be like this might be one of those things that you can't logic and I can't give you all these options. You just might have to try some things. Painting by numbers. I like, I don't know why that's the first thing that came to my head, but like trying other things and just seeing if it works. Yeah, I don't know why my brain is not thinking of other things. It might be a Google search to see other creative things that you could do. Sorry, I did not answer a question there, but hopefully somebody benefited from my little spiel on creativity. Okay. I'm never going to get sick of looking at this cup. Okay. Any other questions? Going once, going twice. All right. Let's wrap it up. What is the one thing you are going to do to make progress on your goals? What is the one thing that you're going to do this week? It doesn't have to be big. What is the one thing you're going to do this week to make progress on your goals? I want to hear about it. If you're here live, I want to hear about it in the chat. If you're watching the replay, I want to hear about it in the replay. I realize I didn't update this. My one thing is to get one workout in case you didn't see this. I have that covered up because I've done nothing. And I need to stop making an excuse. I hurt my toe the other day. And so there's no way I'm doing a ride this week. I'm not putting my hurt toe into my spin shoes, which is fine. I can do a strength workout. And just press play on the freaking thing. Okay. That's my one thing. Take donations. Oh, I feel that. My mom and I were just talking about that. Oh, come on, YouTube. I'm assuming all of you are just sharing all of your amazing ideas. Start brainstorming for December goals. Your mom is coming to visit. I love it. So much fun. All right, y'all. That is it. Thank you for hanging out with me this week. If you liked this video, if you wouldn't mind giving it a thumbs up before you head out. And if you're new here, please click that subscribe button. I do typically go live every Wednesday, but not for the rest of the year because there's going to be a video every day during Vlogmas. I will be back live in the new year and I will see all of you very soon. If you did watch all the way to the end, please comment with a Christmas tree emoji for my little Christmas tree guy back there. Thank you all so much. And I'll see you next week. No, I mean, I will, but just not live. Okay, bye.